Hello and welcome to Benocam. Today we are out on the Isles of Scilly and we're looking at some more shipwreck sites. So today we are looking at, in particular, a shipwreck site of a vessel which for a long time has been called the Douro. So this wreck was found a long time ago and it had a lot of items on it which were related to the slave trade in Africa. So everyone's always called it the Douro right up until now, until recently, when a friend of mine who actually lives out here and does a lot of diving out here has come up with a theory that it's not actually the Douro at all and it could actually be a completely another wreck. So we're going to check that out today. We're hopefully going to go out there and be able to dive the site. It's a beautiful day, it's lovely and flat, so let's see how we get on. On the 28th of January 1843, the brig Douro set sail from Liverpool with a cargo of baled goods of cotton and hemp, heading for Portugal, when after developing several leaks was forced to return back and was wrecked somewhere near the Bishop Rock Lighthouse, with all lives lost. The wreck site we are going to look at was found in 1972 by a local diver and has been a well-known site on the islands for visiting divers ever since, for recovering small bronze artefacts called Manillas. Manillas were used in Africa as a kind of currency and were known to be associated with the slave trade. The issue here is that slavery was abolished in the UK in 1807, while the Douro sank in 1843. Would the Douro have been carrying Manillas for illegal trading of slaves some 36 years later? Another theory from some of the local divers is that the wreck site is that of a ship called the Custos, although that sank even later than the Douro in 1856. However, the Custos was heading to Africa with what was described as being a general cargo. We head out of St Mary's Harbour and head west out toward the Bishop Rock Lighthouse. So this is the Western Rocks behind me. This is the place that's got the really bad reputation out here for causing a lot of shipwrecks. There's loads of shipwrecks all over this whole area. And yeah, a lot of lives have been lost on these reefs here behind me, so we have to be very careful diving this area.
One of these is where the London is lost.
Oh, right.
I'd like to find that as well.
Yeah.
That's the story where the guy was clinging on. Coins were coming over him.
Is that right? Clinging onto the wreck, being showered in coins.
That's right, that's exactly how it went. When they pulled him off the rock, all his fingers had gone through to the bone.
Oh my God.
He'd been there something like 3 days. And
He's still alive?
He told the story of how the waves were coming over and coins were hitting him, coming over him in the waves.
Crikey. Right, we're all kitted up. Let's do this. Todd had warned me that we had slightly missed slack water and there might be a bit of tide running on the site. I entered the water and immediately realised that his version of a bit of tide is very different to mine, and I found myself struggling to be able to reach the anchor line in the powerful current now sweeping over the site.
A little bit of tide, but hey ho. You have to get in when you can.
I finally made it to the bottom, where the tide was a lot less, and began to explore around looking for traces of the wreck. I started to find what looked like blue beads amongst the rocks, so I picked up a few so Todd could explain to me later what they were, and I carried on the search. There's actually very little left of the ship's structure, other than some iron knees which would have once supported the decks and frames of the ship's wooden construction. Somewhere on this reef is a large ship's anchor, but I was unable to locate it on this dive. All of a sudden something caught my eye, the unmistakable colour of bronze in the form of a Manilla. Still intact despite all those years sat here on the seabed, there was another complete one next to it as well, and also several parts of others around, which storms had broken and worn down into separate pieces. Searching and swimming against some current, it didn't take long before my air supply was running low, and it was time to return to the surface, excited to show Todd of my discoveries I'd made during the dive. So we just come up, we had a good dive, found some bits and pieces which we'll show you in a minute. Todd's got the goodies.
Got a little goodie bag there.
Goodie bag.
Looks like some colour in there, I can see some colour.
So yeah, get out the kit and we'll show you what we got. Little collection here. Todd's going to explain to us what these bits and pieces are. Maybe. Oh, look at that then.
We've got some nice beads.
Yeah, not bad, are they?
These were worth 7 slaves.
Are they really?
Yeah.
7 slaves?
Yeah, and they were generally faceted, but the faceting's worn off them.
Right.
So maybe we'll show you a good one later on when we get home.
Yeah, yeah.
These are the Manillas, and these are worth 1 slave.
Crikey. So
And they wore these on their. They generally, as far as we know, they put them on their spears.
yeah, right. They got 2 intact ones as well, happy with that.
So instead of giving them money, we gave them these.
Like a currency.
Yeah.
Slave.
Not only miserable but cheap.
Yeah.
But these are lovely.
Yeah, I've never seen those before.
It's always nice to find the beads.
That's a slightly different type, is it? Is that like a ceramic one and those are glass, or are they all?
Yeah, they're all glass,
They're all
but
glass.
they come in white and blue
Oh, right.
and different sizes.
Yeah.
These are usually good faceted.
That's like the base of a little pot or something. Might be later, which has been thrown on the site maybe.
No, that's some,
It's probably the same age.
yeah, something's on the wreck.
Yeah. 2 intact ones though, well happy with that.
Porcelain by the looks of it, actually.
Yeah.
It is, it's porcelain.
Alright. Very good.
And these are just worn ones.
Yeah. You can see it's a very active site down there. There's a lot of stone and gravel being moved around, wearing them all down.
I think these are washed over from the wreck. The wreck is over there somewhere. It's over near the rock.
Right.
The anchors are, and some of the cargo has been pushed over this way.
Yeah, very good. So you reckon, Todd, then this wreck probably isn't the actual Douro, even though all these years they've been calling it the Douro, you think it's a wreck called the Custos?
Yeah, well, the reason for that is I looked up the Douro and all I could find about it was that it was going to Portugal, Lisbon, and it was carrying baled goods.
Right.
And not a lot else really. And if you were down there looking for something that was carrying baled goods, you'd be finding bale seals, which are made of lead.
Right.
And I've never seen one of them down there. Whereas this is supposed to be a slave trading ship because these are slave tokens.
Yeah, yeah.
It's illegal. It's an illegal slaver. And the only ship that was lost in this area, and the narratives say that it was lost off Crebwethan, and that's Crebwethan over there,
Right.
is the Custos. And the Custos cargo was Manillas. These are Manillas.
Yeah, yeah.
Its cargo was also barrels of musket flints, and there's a lot of those down on the seabed. We didn't get any today, but
Yeah, you've got some
we've
of
got
those.
plenty of that at home.
Yeah.
And it was also carrying muskets themselves, and there's lots of musket parts down there as well.
Yeah, right.
So, and the fact that it was going to Bonny in Nigeria it just speaks for itself, really.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's all I can do is put forward what I think,
Yeah.
and put that evidence forward, and then the next guy comes along after me and disproves or proves what I'm saying is correct. But that's what I think.
It does seem quite likely if you ask me.
Yeah.
There we go. We secured the dive gear and started to make our way back to the safety of St Mary's Harbour. So that's it for this one. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching this video. That is the wreck site of the Douro or the Custos. I do actually think it is probably the Custos. It sounds more likely that that is the shipwreck, but hopefully in time they will be able to prove either way and make it all official. So yeah, thank you for watching the video. Thank you to Todd for taking me out there. It's really good to get out there and dive the site. And we will catch you again soon for more shipwreck videos.